According to Buddhic tradition, in the Buddhist tradition, Siddhartha, the historical Buddha, okay, when he was about to attain enlightenment, he was sitting under the Bodhi tree, okay? So he was one step away from enlightenment. And the Lord of Illusion, Mara, came to disrupt him. Why is that? Because if he disrupts Siddhartha's enlightenment, Mara doesn't lose power, okay? When Siddhartha attains enlightenment, the Lord of Illusion loses power. Buddha kind of held his equanimity, and then he reached enlightenment. And thus, it is said, according to tradition, that's when he conquered the Mara, okay? But in Tibetan tradition, in our tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, it is said that the Maras are still alive. They haven't been conquered. They're actually in a resurgence right now. Okay, it is said that in the 20th and 21st century, they're at their peak. They're very strong. You know, so this is their shindig. It's their party, and we are the party place. Okay. So before we begin, I'd like to share with you already what your take home is. You have a mantra, you have an affirmation that everyone can use, okay? So I'm going to share it with you right now. So everyone inhale and exhale, and once more, inhale and exhale. And this is your mantra, what's the Mara with me? Everyone recite it to yourself. What's the Mara with me? Okay? This is an ancient mantra dating back to 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's how old it is. Now, this is the basic version, and if you are the advanced meditator, you can actually say it this way. What's the matter with me? Okay, just say it as it's spelled out. You can say that too. Either one, the basic or the advanced, that'll be fine. So that is our affirmation and Mara today. So, what is Mara? Okay, Mara comes in 4 kinds. Wow, one is bad enough, but 4 kinds, okay? So let's take the first one. Okay, the first one is what we call the Deva Putra Mara, or the running Mara. Okay, if you can say, this is the Sanskrit term, Deva Putra, okay? Or if you have trouble pronouncing it, you can say the running Mara. Now, why is it called the running Mara? Hey, Buddha buddy, where are you going? Come back. Okay, so there's Buddha buddy and he's running. Okay, what's he running towards? Okay, Deva Putra Mara is about, okay, running towards pleasure. He's running towards pleasure. And then on the other side, he's running away from pain and discomfort. Again, running towards pleasure or comfort, escaping pain and discomfort. Okay, so that's the basic of what this Mara is. And if you note, in this day and age, everyone's doing this, right? Everyone's doing this, okay? So example, Monday morning, because tomorrow's Monday, because today is a Sunday. Okay, you see everyone going to work, running to beat the 9 o'clock deadline. Okay, they have to be at work and they're escaping being late, right? That's what we're doing, okay? And it has so many permutations of what we're doing in our lives. Okay, Lance, Buddha Buddy Lance, would you care to share some of your insights and experiences with the running Mara?
Well, I do know that I procrastinate and maybe order some twister fries when I should be doing yoga. But David,
running towards the twister fries, running away from wellness, yes.
I have a question for you. Why is it wrong to be running towards pleasure and running away from pain? Isn't it like natural, our human nature? And isn't it something that we're supposed to long for? Pleasure, glory, enlightenment.
That's true.
Isn't that all?
Yes, that's
positive?
Actually good. That's actually very okay. I mean, on a human level, that's fine. But see, we abuse it. Okay, to a certain level. In the Buddhist tradition, it's about excess.
Yeah.
Okay, another way to look at it is running away from responsibility. Right?
Glorifying busy. That's an illusion.
That's illusion.
I'm busy, I'm important.
Yes. We're always trying to look for something to make us feel busy and stuff like that. A lot of times, we're also running away from being still. Right? Because if you look at the modern world, Also, if you look at right now in the digital age, we're looking for that quick fix. How fast can I swipe? What's my fast internet? Right? We're running away from being patient.
But that reminds me of something.
Yeah.
When I was trying to go vegetarian, and then I watched this documentary. So the
Okay.
doctor said that if the natural doctor said that your body will naturally look for what your body needs. Like if it needs the nutrients from a mango, it will look for mango. If you
Yeah.
need salt, it will look for salt. So then the person
Mhm.
doing in the video asked, but when I go inside the grocery, I want the burgers, I want the pizza. Why is it that I'm looking for that? And then the doctor said, or the specialist said, it's because that your compass has been so out of whack.
Wired. Yeah.
Your wiring has been like messed up,
Mm.
maybe from all the maras probably. And
Yeah.
so you start looking for the wrong things, and maybe start chasing the wrong things.
Yeah. Okay. In Western parlance, we call it I'm jonesing for something. Like, oh, I need something. I need a fix. I need a fix. Right. So we're looking for fixes now in the
Like
21st.
this.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have
I got my caffeine fix. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of people got matcha fixes, etc. So
Mhm, mhm,
in this age, the Devaputra Mara has us chasing fixes and sometimes also escaping responsibilities.
yeah.
Right. If you look at also in business, okay, we're always chasing growth. We're always chasing good revenue and profit. Not bad. I mean, a business needs profit, right? But the if you notice the expense of it on the person, not just person, but also the environment. Okay, in running towards that, we take too much, right? There are certain prices to that,
Mhm,
right? So a lot of times we in the modern era, you know, not just everyone, myself included, yeah, as as someone who's a businessman, okay, I'm running after deadlines, I'm running after the monthly returns, I'm running after this quota, etc., right? We're always running after something, okay, because we're escaping something. We're escaping not enough money in the bank, we're escaping uh, being irrelevant in the market, right?
yeah.
So that's a certain Mara that's, if you look all around, even in the news, it's very pervasive. Okay. It's okay to have that, okay, for our basic survival. That's human nature, but it's kind of like over, you know, it's excessive already,
Mhm.
right? Don't you agree, Lance? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So everyone, those of you who are experiencing that Mara, inhale, exhale. What's the Mara with me? Yeah. Again, inhale, exhale. What's the Mara with me? Very good. Right. So that's the first Mara. And, you know, just watch the news. You'll find Devaputra all over the place. Okay, so maybe we can go to the next Mara. Yes, there's a question. Sorry, newbie here. Would you please explain in layman's terms the word Mara? Okay, Mara is a Sanskrit term. Okay, it's an old ancient Indian 2,500 years ago, which they labeled as the illusions. In the Hindu tradition, they also call it Maya with a Y. So Maya or Mara, okay, that's what we call the illusions. The Buddha of the historic Buddha, they kind of classified these things in a certain way so that people can understand. Okay, so oh, hi Nancy. There. And so I hope that I hope that explains the historical aspect of Mara. Okay.
Is it comparable to when we Christians or Catholic so we have this personified entity called Lucy. Can
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can we
Okay.
say if people relate more to that? Is it like so? Diba, I have this cartoon in my head where there's an angel and there's a bad.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Diba? Is it like
Okay.
that?
Well, okay, like this. Yes, but there's a slight difference in Buddhist tradition. Okay. Myself, I was also brought up Catholic, and based on my studies, in comparing both ways, in the Christian tradition, the devil is almost like it's out there, like he influenced us to do this, like it's a force outside of us. Here in the Buddhist tradition, we create the maras for ourselves. Okay, it is something because of our imbalance we go into. It is not an outside force. Okay, in the storytelling, it seems like an outside force, but it's something that we create. Okay, so partly it is our responsibility. Similar also, I suppose, in the Christian tradition, if the devil tempts us, it's our choice whether to give in or not. So it still also falls within our responsibility. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, and I have an example. Can I share?
Yeah, go.
Have you heard of the IKEA effect?
That's
Like, so when people buy from IKEA, it's
oh yeah, the furniture, yeah.
You do it yourself, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the people, when they don't need it or they realize they don't need it, there's an illusion that it costs more now. There's more value because my effort is already into it.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
IKEA effect brings more value to the furniture because I already put effort, invested time into it.
Yeah.
So
And
I created that value, but
yeah.
the other chair who's done by my neighbor would actually be the same. But I
True.
created that additional value. Okay.
Yeah, actually, that's actually a very good point. Just to share, that's a good point. That's also in the Buddhic tradition. Um, it is through our efforts that we actually gain enlightenment. Okay, just to share with you. Very interesting. Thanks, Lance. Okay. Okay, so maybe we can move on to the next Mara. Okay, this one I think a lot of people will resound to. This one, it's called. Wait for it. It's called the Skanda Mara, or the mask Mara. Oh, it's the mask Mara. What do you mean by mask Mara? Okay, imagine life is a theater. It's a program, and everyone's an actor, and we have roles to play. So we put on certain masks like this. See? See my mask? Right, it's a very colorful mask. Okay, so what can you read there? It has what? It has friend, it has professional, it has what? Expert. So all these things. Just look at our calling cards, right? All the calling cards that we've had over time, those are the masks we put on ourselves. Now, peekaboo, is it bad? No. I mean, we need masks in this world, right? We got to have masks to go into the business world. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that's what the Mara is now. See, the mask, it's glued on so tight. It's on our face. We don't know, oh my God, it's there. I can't take it off. So even taking it off is very difficult. So, the Mara of Skandamara now is about taking the mask too seriously. Okay? It's like obsessing on our roles. We take our roles too seriously in whatever form. What can you say, Lance? Have you experienced this?
Well, yeah, I just realized now how the mask for an ideal mother has changed over time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
A
Super
certain
mom.
generation, yeah, certain generation, it was okay, let your kid play, it will toughen them up, get them outside. But now the mothers are like forced really to, the children now has to be good at sports, music, academics, and so the
Oh,
mother is hovering. So there's also that
helicopter mom.
feeling that you need to be so, I don't know, hands on, and you need to sacrifice a lot so that your child will do well.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not just
Yeah,
in the mothers.
perfectionism according to Chari. And she has a question: is it like your ego? Are you asking about the running Mara? The mask Mara?
The mask Mara. Well, let's just say we call it in our community ego personality. Okay,
Yeah.
ego personality. Like we need this to survive in the world. When we go out to our school, when we go to work, we put on the mask. That's the reality of it. But the thing is, a lot of times now we forget who's behind the mask, right? When we say, who are you? They meet, like example, when we go to a party, and we ask them, so who are you? What do you do? The first thing we say is our name. And probably the next conversation is, this is what I do. I work in a bank. Or we ask them, so what's your job?
Specifically what they do for a living.
Yeah, so it's like opening in a party. It's like, so what's your mask? Right? So what's your role?
We're saying it's an illusion. So is it bad? All bad? This
Well,
masks that we wear?
it's, again, in Buddhism, there's such a thing as taking things to an excess and an extreme,
Mm, mm,
right?
mm.
Because we're like this. Imagine we're like this for like a decade because we go to work, etc. Then all of a sudden, we find ourselves in transition. You know that word, in transition, which means the mask has fallen down.
Mm.
So that feeling of I don't know who I am right now
Oh, I
because
have an example.
yes, what?
Like after a very hard breakup and you're about to marry someone and he leaves you, and then I mean not to make fun of it, but then that role of being a wife goes away, and sometimes you just lose your identity, or you lose a
Yes,
job. You don't know
lose
who
a
you are
job,
anymore
lose a
after.
relationship because we got so invested in that role.
Yes, and then there's a question from Chara. Is it the attachment to the mask when it becomes bad? Can you try to answer this, Dave?
Yeah, of course.
You
Okay.
remember the movie The Mask?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Jim Carrey.
different when you are wearing the mask and the mask is your tool. Like before we started the session, I asked David, "Oh, remind me before we start, remind me that I need to comb my hair."
Yes, you have to. Yeah, the Buddha has to look gorgeous, of course.
My friends know I don't comb my hair, but of course, since I'm going to, I want to be prepared because I need that mask to be somebody who's well put. But then, when it's already the mask that's controlling us, I think
Hmm.
like when it's taken a life of its own, like the
Yes.
CEO who forgets to be the dad when you go home,
Yeah,
or
that's
I
true.
think
Here's something. Okay. Because my grandfather was a military general. Okay, and I've met other people who grew up in a military household, and there's a certain way a military man raises his family. It's almost similar to when he's in the field. Okay, that's one aspect. There's a lot of discipline involved. Okay, and if you know, also another example is in the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey. If you notice when he took off the mask, it's very hard, right? And sometimes that's probably how we feel. The mask has been so comfortable for us that when it's peeled off, it hurts, right? I'm not saying it should be painless, but thing is, the awareness that the mara or the mask has been so stuck on us, we forget who's behind the mask.
and sometimes also there's a mask of being small, simple, meek, and again
Yeah,
just below the radar. And
yeah,
sometimes it's hard for us to bloom, come out of our shell, and
yeah.
start doing things that's really important to us because we've been following social norms and expectations for a long
Oh,
time.
very good, very good. Social norms. You see, that's the audience.
Mm.
That's the audience. It's like example, if I'll use another mask, okay? Here's a Buddha Madi mask, okay? So we're like this inside, but actually we're like this outside. Does that make sense? It's like this is the mask we present to the world, but this is who we are inside. So
Yeah.
there's that, you know, uh, gap that we
Yeah, and
present.
it can also be the other way around because
Yes.
sometimes the sympathy is so beneficial, and
Oh yeah, we do
to
this
us
so that
there's
people
so
can,
much gain. Yeah.
so that, but inside we're like that. So there's,
Mm.
the mask has so many dynamics involved because we're actually, how would you say this? The life is a theater, and the people around us, that's our audience.
Mhm.
Okay, but not bad. We need that. We need that at work. We need that for business because there's such a thing as market perception, goodwill, etc. But we forget who's behind the mask, right? That's the
Oh,
excess.
Nancy is asking, does it make us superficial?
Well, to a certain level, yeah. Well, I would think so, yeah. Because one thing about the mask is that um, it can be heavy, okay? Because there are certain roles that we like to wear, and there are certain roles that we don't like to wear, but we wear it just the same. Example, okay? We're in a career that we love, so we like wearing that mask. You get up in the morning, yay, I'll go and do something. I'm gonna be awesome, right? And then there's a mask that's heavy to wear. It's like, oh man, I hate my job, but I gotta do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there are different masks that we wear, not just professionally, but even personally.
Mm-hmm.
I've met some people who have who wear a mask even in their own family, right? And a bit,
Well, I think it can make us superficial, but not necessarily.
mhm.
As long as we remember that it's a mask,
Yeah, and
a
that's the thing.
personality.
Yeah, and that's the
We
thing. We
Yeah.
forget.
Yes,
We
and
forget.
we go to work, we wear a different set of clothes than when we go for out for shopping. It's probably the same thing. When we're a doctor, we wear a different mask. When we go home, it's different. But it's, yeah, when you show it like it sticks so much, that's where the problem starts,
Yeah,
probably.
and here's one of my favorite example for the mask. Okay, I don't know if anybody out there likes comic books, because I read comic books, so that's a lot of my reference. Okay, Bruce Wayne has a mask problem. You know who Bruce Wayne is, right? Okay, so he's like, "Hi, I'm Bruce Wayne," and then at night he's like, "I'm Batman." So you see the disparity of the mask, so much so that it already causes problems in his personal life. You know, I
David,
mean, he's doing good, but go ahead, Lance.
I just remembered Kilay is life. So is it also like a mask?
I don't know. I don't really
You
wear
can't go
makeup.
out.
I don't really wear makeup, so probably the ladies can actually answer that. It's like, I mean,
But
I have nothing against makeup. The thing
yeah,
is,
see,
how
so
often do
it's
you
not
do it?
it's not necessarily bad. I think it's also like the what do you call this? The Devaputra.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
necessarily bad. I mean, people may not or may care about your kila if it makes you feel good.
Hmm.
It's not harming anyone.
Yeah,
Yes, kila is life.
kilai is life, but behind the kilai, who is that?
Yeah.
That's the question, right?
Okay.
So you see, the maras, according to Buddhic tradition, they are there's something to be conquered. But at least in my own wisdom, and from learning from my own teacher, okay, I discovered that the maras are there for us to be managed. Okay, because this is the time where it's so easy for maras to rule us. So easy. Okay. So is everybody okay? So far, so good. Okay, everyone, inhale. Exhale and recite, "What's the matter with me?" Again, "What's the matter with me?" Yeah. All right, so that's two maras down. So what's the third mara? Okay. This one, in fact, okay, all the maras are actually related to each other. You can actually connect them. They're not mutually exclusive. It's just the Buddha actually broke them down so that people can understand them a little more. Okay. So the next one to be discussed is called the Klesha Mara, which also is the emo Mara. Okay, it's actually using emotions as an excuse or giving into emotions. Okay, here's how it works. Okay, just to make it more example. Feelings, emotions influence our actions, and our actions have certain results. Now, are these results beneficial to us and other people, or are they harmful to us and other people? Okay. Basic example. You break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Now, for women, you break up with your boyfriend. Of course, you're kind of, "Oh my God, the world's falling apart." So what are your actions? You go to the nearest donut shop and you buy the dozen donuts. That's all for you with some ice cream. So that's the action that you do. Okay. It feels good, I suppose, but there are consequences to that. One, your blood sugar goes up, your waistline expands, and if your waistline expands, I don't know if you'll be able to find another boyfriend for the next month or something like that. Okay, so I'm just making fun there. But okay, you get the point. Okay,
That's an
so
illusion, no?
yes,
I
the
don't need a
donut is
small waistline to find a boyfriend,
yeah,
but it helps.
yeah, yeah,
Probably, yeah. It's all interrelated, no?
yeah. Oh, that's just an excuse to buy the donut. Okay, but we have these certain feelings and emotions, and sometimes we use them as an excuse to do something which is not necessarily beneficial to others and ourselves. Okay.
Oh, I have an example.
Yeah.
After you.
Okay. One emotion that's running wild right now is anger. Right. I mean, I'm not saying anger should be suppressed. Okay. Based on counseling and psychotherapy principles, we should honor our anger. But there are ways to manage anger. And right now, there are so many things out there, anger energy, which is not really managed. Example, at this time, okay, if you watch the news, there's a lot of people going on angry rages. I think there's been shootings in the US just recently, right? And that, I would think, comes from a deep-seated anger, right? And they're expressing it in non-beneficial ways, okay? What else do we do? Lance, you have an example?
I remembered the old soap operas and the drama Filipino movies where the parents would use emotion, like we would fake a heart attack to appeal to pity and trigger a pity party or a whatever so that the child will follow. It's using emotion, no?
Yes. I think it's also called, there's a term I think that came about. It's called emotional blackmail.
Mm.
So feelings are very, very tricky. And we use kind of like our feelings as a way to act out something, right? One of the most prominent one, as I said before, is anger. Another one that's coming out is frustration.
Oh, or using emotion to, is this correct? Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, David. Using emotion to justify our actions, like
Yes,
sad.
I was sad, that's why I drank.
I was hurt.
I was hurt, that's why I hit you. See what you made me do?
I was so jealous because I love you so much.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. See, I mean, we're not saying don't have emotions, but these things kind of like cloud our judgment. Okay.
Yeah.
There's certain thing here. Okay, again, something like the mask. Okay, ta-da! See that? Okay, the emotions. Okay, but it's a mask thing. But there are emotions that we like to feel. It's here. Okay, and there's certain emotions that we're not comfortable in feeling. So it's kind of like related to the first Mara. We're running towards positive emotions. We always like to feel good all the time, and we're running away from certain emotions because they're uncomfortable, because we don't know how to manage them, right? So in a way, this goes into the realm in modern parlance of EQ. What's EQ? Emotional quotient development. Does that make sense? Yeah, generation gap. That's right. That's right. Okay. Um, are Yuli's here? Okay, no problem. Okay. So how's everyone so far? Okay. So far, the Mara's making sense. Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of comments from the participants. Do we take insights
Yeah.
now or later after? Maybe after
Okay.
for
Let's
everyone?
yeah. Let's
What do you
finish
want?
the let's finish the what you call this, the fourth Mara. Okay. So before we go to the fourth Mara, okay, everyone, inhale, exhale. What's the Mara with me? Again, inhale, exhale. What's the Mara with me? Good. Excellent. Very good. If you can do that when we're feeling the maras, just to make us conscious, right? Now, so we had skanda, klesha, and here's something very, very common. Okay, you'll be surprised how common it is, but we take it for granted. Okay, the fourth one is called yamamara. And what's yamamara? Yama is impermanence mara. Traditionally, in the Buddhic tradition, yamamara is the fear of death. Okay, fear of death. Okay, um, in one way of discussing the yamamara, it's like, yes, after death there is an afterlife, so life moves on in that level. But in the way that we discover it here at Sattvah, it's about dealing with impermanence. Okay, as I said earlier, all the maras are related to each other. Okay, remember the scan the mask, the Mara, okay? Okay, our first job, or we're doing good in our career, then all of a sudden that mask drops because of impermanence, all right? The role dies, okay? So impermanence is one of the basic Buddhic tenets. If you look around us, everything is in a state of flux. So the illusion here is seeking that something that's permanent, something stable in our lives, which is also related to, where are you, Buddha buddy? Oh my God, he ran away. Where are you? Yes, here you are, right? We're running towards stability. We're escaping instability or uncertainty. You get it? So if you look at what everyone's doing now, we're looking for that space of stability, because if you look around us, we can see a lot of instability, perhaps in the political arena, perhaps in the environment, in the business sector, not just in our country, but from all countries and all nations, right? There is an instability that's happening, okay? And that, in the Buddhist tradition, is just impermanence hitting us in the face, right? What can you say, Lance?
Is this why not anti-aging products are? Is this why anti-aging products are such a hit?
Well, yeah. Remember, okay, when it comes to wellness, because we're in the wellness industry also, I noticed that a lot of things that people put in the anti-aging is like the fountain of youth. You remember that phrase? The fountain of youth in this gel, something like that. Look 10 years younger, something, people like that. So everyone is so attached to youth, okay? Nothing bad about that. I mean, it's nice to, have that inner child happy.
So
But
there's this attachment to our youth and our looks, youth, and keeping things as they were.
yeah, yeah. One thing I know, um, the reason why a lot of us look to the past is probably, is because there's something uncertain in our present time, or the future as we look at it is also uncertain. So we look back to a time of stability in our lives, right?
We also tell kids to, oh, don't grow up so fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's why a lot of the time travel movies are very popular. If I go back in time, get the time stone, keep myself young. That's I'm guilty of that. That's why I do a lot of yoga. That's why I do a lot of tai chi, just to keep my health, etc. But again, nothing bad about that.
But yeah.
The thing is, we take it to a certain extreme. Again, the Mara is about extremities. Okay.
And then sometimes the fear of impermanence lead us to do things that are not the best for us, like settling for a job,
Settling for a job, for a relationship.
relationship,
Oh,
maybe.
okay. Here's something I think all the women can relate to. Okay, I'm surprised I'm the one coming up with this. Okay, there is this impermanence trigger in women. Okay,
Only in women.
in men also, but more a lot in women. What we notice, it's the alarm bells are clicking in. Okay, for a certain segment of women that
Oh,
says, "Oh my God, I'm reaching this age and I'm still single. Oh my God, what's happening?" Or I don't have kids yet. What's happening? There's um,
is it?
I
Would that fall under the mask?
uh, both. It's a combination. It's a
Mm.
combination. It's also for men. Okay, like when we reach a certain age, which is also I think for women, a certain age. Oh my God, I'm middle age. What have I done?
Yeah. So
Right.
for men, it's more, well, at least from what we've seen in past generations, perhaps, by a certain age, there should be this much money in the bank,
They should have this much, what you call this, achievement, etc., etc., etc.
achievement.
So again, it goes also back to the running, Mara. We're running after time. We're running after because we feel like we don't have time. Okay.
So yeah, the Maras are so interrelated
Yeah, they're all
as
interrelated.
they, yeah, as it,
Yeah.
yeah, pushes
This
us to do things.
the scariest part of all the Maras, I find this Mara the most challenging to manage. Okay, because it has, for me, in my case, it has me be comfortable with uncertainty and instability.
Because that's where you grow. So this
Yeah, comfort
Mara
zone.
will stunt your growth if
Yes,
you let it control you.
true, true. Because everything's in a state of flux. Okay,
Mhm.
and we're looking for that place of stability where we don't, step out of our comfort zone. You know, so that's actually, Lance, you're a coach, right? You're a life coach,
Mhm.
so I'm sure you actually have certain principles about stepping out of your comfort zone, because everything is impermanent, the time is now, etc.
And there's also the concept of flow,
Yeah.
where the pressure is not too small and not too high that it's destructive. So that's just, there's this middle point where there's flow, there's movement, enough action, and things
Mm,
would flow. And yeah, there's a state of mind
true.
there,
See.
and that state of mind requires movement, growth,
Yeah, because if
action.
if we look at nature itself, it's all about movement, right? Like life is not static. Okay. Okay, so everyone, how's everyone doing? Okay, are we scaring you with the maras? I hope not. So everyone, inhale, exhale. What's some mara with me? Again, inhale, exhale. What's some mara with me? Very good. So far,
um,
so good. So I think we have some comments, but before we go to the comments, or if anybody would like to share, okay, so that we're on time, okay, one of our special activities for our talk today is that we have a special meditation to help us manage the maras, okay, or at least be aware of them. And we'd like to invite everyone to participate in this. It's very simple. It's a little fun as well, but when we actually be aware of the maras, okay, that's when we start to manage them more instead of them managing us. Okay, and I'm talking about the mara like it's something external, where it's actually internal, because in the time of the Buddha, that's what people can resound to when they personify that certain thing. Okay, so yes, other thing is someone yes, is contribute to the social norms. Yes. So the social norms, the environment is actually a big factor in making the maras permeate right now. And as I said earlier, in Tibetan tradition, the maras are at their peak. This is the time of mara. Okay. And we as human beings, and Buddhas internally, okay, we have to find ways to manage them, or else they manage us. And if they manage us, the world will pay for it. The environment will pay for it. The next generation will pay for it. So our Mara adventures have to be managed. Okay. So can I invite everyone to a little meditation, okay, to help us manage the Mara? Okay. So can I invite everyone to just take a good posture, okay, feet on the floor. Have a nice posture with your palms on your lap. So everyone, inhale and exhale, Vasamara with me. And to help us in this meditation, we bring to mind the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who we took refuge to, our patron, Kuan Yin, Om Mani Padme Hum, and Mama Mary, who it's her birthday today. So just take a moment to feel the right side of your body. Feel the energy of the right side of your body. That's just fine. Now be aware of the left side of your body, the energy of your left side. And just inhale and exhale And be aware of the space between left and right. Be aware of the space between left and right. Now, this is the space where we can observe the manas and be aware of them. Now, imagine you're looking at a video screen, a flat-inch video screen on the wall, and you're watching a movie, you're watching a video, and you are the star of that video. And the maras are your co-stars, they're the supporting actors. So just see yourself. And see yourself interacting with the maras. Or just see yourself, during the past week, what have you been running towards? What have you been running away from? Could be at work, could be other situations. Just observe yourself. Now take notice also, what are the roles you've been playing this past week? What are those masks? At work or at social occasions? Just observe yourself with those masks. Now just observe yourself because of those masks, because you're running away and running towards. What are the emotions and feelings you've had the past week? Just bring them to mind. If you can just label one or two, that's fine. Now just bring to mind, what is the impermanence that you have been witnessing? What is the impermanence you are a part of? Just bring that to mind. And don't judge it, just watch it. Now just think of something to be grateful for right now. It doesn't have to be something huge. It can be something very simple. Like that piece of candy that you ate before you came here. You were able to get a grab very easily at one point. You said hello to someone and they said hello back. Doesn't matter what it is, just be grateful. Just for now, be not chasing, be not escaping. Just for now, be aware of who is behind the mask. Just for now, be aware of who is feeling those emotions. Just for now, be aware of the world around us is always changing. And it is okay. So everyone just take an inhale and exhale. Go back to the breath. Again, inhale, exhale. And one more time, we inhale and exhale. And at the end of this exhale, when you are ready, come back, open our eyes, join the Buddha buddies once again. Hey Buddha buddies, how are you? How did this feel for everyone?
Good.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to know how this felt. So if you can type down how you felt, so we can have feedback about this, we'd be appreciative.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, who's this? Oh, Suze. Hi, Suze. Yeah.
Hi.
Yes. Hi, everybody. This is Buddha Buddy Susie. Okay.
Yeah, Buddha Buddy Susie had a lot of Maros.
Welcome to the club.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I'm so grateful for this moment. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, glad to help. And hopefully, okay, it's not about taking away the maras, it's just managing them. Okay. We have to manage them. Okay. Thank you, Suze. Anybody else? Okay, that was great. Thank you. My background was noisy. Okay, no problem there. Oh, here, you know what? If the up level of this meditation, if you can do this in a noisy environment, that's super Mara meditation for you. Okay, all right, Chara, no problem. The Mara's just there. The Maras are just there. Okay. How are you, Lance? How
Yeah,
do you
the
feel?
classic. I feel good. I like the meditation. Thank you so much, David.
No
And
problem.
yeah, I think the classifications and the definition of Mara help us identify it in our lives.
Yeah, yeah,
And then also your drawings and your running Buddha and your mask.
yeah.
The visuals, like it can help us like be conscious. The first step is really awareness.
Correct, correct. Because I think also in psychology, if you become aware and if you label it, okay, that's the first step of having power of empowering yourself again, rather than being disempowered and having the Maras rule you,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
So in the Buddhic tradition, it's being aware. That's why the Buddha, the traditional Buddha, he made a lot of classification so that people can, give them a label, give them a name, so it doesn't, stick to them like glue.
mhm.
Yeah. And it is at this
Wow.
time, and they're running around. The Maras are there, and just to let you know, in the Buddhic tradition, they say in verbatim, you have to subjugate the Maras, conquer, destroy. That's in the traditional sense. But in this sense that we're doing, because the Buddha said that, don't take my word for it, try it out, and evolve the Dharma as you can in your own life. Not every one of us has the predisposition to go to the mountains and just stay there and meditate for a lifetime, where you can conquer the Maras totally. A lot of us have bills to pay. We have
Yeah.
expenses on the month, etc. So we got to run one way or the other.
And the challenge is perhaps
Exactly, the
how do
longing.
we, yeah, the challenge is how do we manage the mask such that it helps us, supports us, rather than control us.
Yeah, it's being aware of who is behind the mask, because we forget. It's just a simple of not remembering, not. It's not discovery. It's remembering. Sorry, it's remembering who is behind the mask.
Yes. Because there are times that we need to be tough. We need to be soft.
Yeah, that's true.
But we are not always soft or tough, or we are not that person.
Yeah, so it's just what we call in theater language, it's called change costume. Yeah, so it's like we're like this, and then if we can actually do this, and that. The thing is, what's happening now with the Mars, it's like it's so hard to take this off, and let's put it there, right? Yeah. So it's like, peekaboo, who's behind the mask? Easier said than done, I'm sure. Okay, I'm still struggling with the costume change at times, but at least I know I'm struggling with it, and it's no, and there's no such thing as, for me, okay, everyone has a different level of costume change. Some make it easy, some don't, so it's just where we are. Yeah. Yes, Dean says we need to learn how to oscillate across the spectrum of yin and yang. Yes, balance is the key. True.
Do we start read the comments and ask people to share?
Okay, here's what we do. It's 11:56. Our event is only up to 12, but if people would like to stay and share something, we're willing to stay like maybe 15 minutes beyond 12 o'clock. All right, for those who have something to do, you may leave. But if those who would like to know a little more, get a little more clarity, we can spare an extra 15 minutes. Is that okay? Okay. I just want to keep the time so that we can actually close formally. Is that okay with some people? Okay. So at this time, we have 3 minutes left. We can formally close our session so that we can keep on track. And then we can stay just for more clarification. So in the tradition of Sattvah, as also in the tradition of the Tibetan Vajrayana tradition, we just dedicate this merit for the benefit of all sentient beings, so that all may be free from suffering. By this merit, may all obtain omniscience, may defeat the enemy wrongdoing, from the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the oceans of samsara, may we free all beings. And for those of you who are sensitive and can feel energy, you might feel our guests, our divine guests, saying thank you as well. So together we inhale and exhale and come back. And I hope, Buddha buddies, I hope you're all doing fine. Okay, so if anybody has like a comment or would like to say something, I think you can raise your hand somehow. Just, you can actually tell Claudine, who's manning the other side. Okay, how is this for you? Hope this was fine. If you want a little more clarification, we can actually give you a little more. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to use this one. It's our little Buddha buddy thing. It's our Buddha buddy meditation icon. Yeah. Yes, looking forward to another meeting. Yes, this is an E pluribus unum, one of many. Yes, so I guess I'm declaring that already. Why? Because Maras are out there, so we need more Mara management, if I can coin a word.
I remember Yuli had some insights.
Yeah. Yuli, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Yuli.
Chara.
Yes, thanks, Chara. Yeah, Yuli, what's your insight?
Well, I realized that one of the challenges that we have for my generation would be to learn from the let's say the mistakes from the past generation as well, Because if we are going to build something that if we're going to build something, we need to also learn to discard what was not useful or which was harmful from the previous generation.
Mm, that's right.
Mhm. Especially that victim mentality thing. Like, um, I noticed that there are certain groups who would emotionally blackmail people because of their beliefs, and it's
Yeah.
actually happening in Facebook right now.
Yeah,
It's
actually.
just sad. It's just sad because it really, in one way, I also understand that the only person that you can change would be yourself, because others have another way of, evolving and growing up.
Mhm.
That's what I realized.
Yeah.
Just
Actually, you brought up a good point. If you, yeah, we forgot to mention Facebook has a lot of Maras running around. If you notice it,
so
right?
true.
Right? Yeah, yeah, it's all there. Yeah, and your generation, okay, your generation's job, Yuli, is to really understand what we've been doing, what our generation has been doing in excess, right? Because you're right now, you see it, you're reaping the consequences. Your generation is reaping the consequences of at least my generation and the past generations excessive entertainment of Mara.
And also what they omitted, because, well, I think in the context of our country, we have never really made peace with our history or
Mm,
collective history. And it's
mm,
showing right now. It's like everyone has this collective amnesia. We don't stick to the facts because it doesn't, how should I say this? We don't feel the effects, or should I say we're still in denial of the pain that we've had collectively.
yes, 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 yes. So again, see, it's the running Mara. We're running away from something, right? Running away from something. Yeah. But then, easier said than done, because there's a lot to face. Really, a lot to
Yep.
face.
It's just really taking it a day at a time.
That's
For
true.
me,
That's
yeah.
true. So thanks, Yuli. Thanks for attending.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bigyan mo na water nyo.
Yes.
Dali.
Anybody else would like to share or have a comment or like a clarification? Something more? Yeah. Thank you for coming, Jeannie. Yes. Also, it's
Nancy also had some insights. Not
yes.
to put anyone on spot, but you can always say no, but just to acknowledge also the insights that came in.
Yeah. I'm
Hello.
sorry because I have kids around. So
No problem.
shouting and
So you're
I
surrounded
cannot.
by Mara. Little Mara's going
I
around.
know the little Maras are here. So definitely it's really Mara for me, you know. But the term is really new for me. But the insights is there. But it reminded me again because every now and then, you know, due to busy work, busy
Mm,
hectic schedule with the kids, with the errands, we tend to forget what we have in ourselves.
yeah.
So this 1 hour is like reminding me, banging me again, like this you have to do, you have to do, you have to do, and
Mm,
it gives me back, it refreshes me, and
mm,
it's not new that people put their input on you, they what they want on you. It's not new already.
mhm.
So I'm still trying to supersede that or be on top of that, but of course, you know, the conditioning is really strong on me. It's very
Yes.
strong. So this is again a wake up call to stand your own, stand your ground, be firm on what you are dealing with
Yeah.
every day in your life.
Yeah.
This is
And
again,
awareness is the
yeah,
50% of the battle. And that's why
yes,
you have this already. You know, if you can do this,
was
what's
a
the matter
marathon.
with me? You know, I tell you, I've been using it the past week. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's the matter with me?
And with your body, it helps.
Yes,
Yeah.
The way David does it.
Yeah. Ah, what's the matter with me? I even do it this way. You know, it's like some people have mudras like this or like that. I do it this way. Ah, what's the matter with me? It's
It
called
takes a lot.
the
Yeah,
enlightened
sorry.
palm slap. There you go.
And thank you so much, Nancy, for joining
Thank you,
me, even
Nancy.
in spite of all the distractions,
Yes.
possible
And
distractions.
you have adorable little Maras there.
Thank you also for the questions that Chara sent in via the chat.
Yes, like, can we take one? Maybe we can.
I think we did address them along the way. Chara, anything else left unaddressed, or any shares you have,
Yeah.
if you choose to?
Oh, all good.
All good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, hope we were able to be of service to some level. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. What else? Yeah, maybe this is a little good time to have a bit of announcements also while we're still here. Here in Sattvah, everything that we do, all our offerings are about getting to know ourselves so that the Maras don't distract us. Okay, so in our movement towards oneness restoration, just next week we have our Akashic Record Level 1 class. So if you'd like to know more about what is Akashic Records, you can email us, you can PM, um, so that we can actually give you a schedule if you'd like to know more. Those of you who took the Akashic Record reading class, you're free to decide if you want to re-audit. Okay, let's see what else. If you go to our Facebook page and our website, you can see there all the other weird stuff that we do for Mara management.
Weird talaga.
Yeah, weird stuff. Yeah, no, really. I mean, I think what do we call it before? Spirituality is the new in the closet thing. Come out. Yeah. How about you, Lance? Anything to share?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page that's not very much. I haven't really gone out of the closet that much as much as
Oh,
David and Claudine. But please,
darling, ladlad ka na, day.
lad na rin ako, especially
Yes.
today. So I typed in my name. I'm also Lance. Lance is short for Melanie, and I have a Facebook page and account, so you can add me or like my page. There are few testimonials there about my services, and yeah, more to
Yes.
come.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lance is a life coach, by the way. She's a life coach and a very good one too. Okay, so
Thanks, David.
yeah, so if you guys can actually like to do like, oh, the Maras are affecting me, you can ask Lance for some life coaching.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say what I was doing. No, I like I like helping people integrate conflicting areas of their life to find balance and harmony.
I was tempted, Lance, to actually say, oh, she did say she was a life coach. So if you
Oh
guys
yeah,
want,
I'm also an Akashic reader.
yeah. So I was gonna say, if you want vulcanizing services, no, just
No,
kidding.
not that. So
Yeah.
yes. So yeah, I can help you find your soul purpose using your values, and yeah, there.
Yes.
Thank you for that
Knowing
opportunity.
the man. Anybody else? Yes, we're looking at, this is recorded, so if anybody would like to watch this again, and see the weirdness of
Yeah.
who we are, we'll actually send the link on our Facebook page about the Maras.
Do we
Okay.
have explicit permission from everyone from the
Yeah.
registration that we have?
Yes, yes, it's in the registration. It's all there.
Okay.
Everyone is like that. I guess that's why
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you. I guess that's why everyone was quiet.
My apologies for being late. So I did get to miss the first Mara,
Oh,
the introduction in the first Mara. So can't wait to see the recording.
yeah, yeah. No problem, Suze. Yeah. So, okay. Anything else? Ling Ling, yes, Ling Ling, missed you. Long time. Ling Ling Adora. Yes, she's one of my past acupuncturists from way back. Hope you're doing fine, Ling. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all we have for today. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Okay, so on behalf of Sattvah and the rest of the Buddha Buddies stationed here, thank you, much gratitude. Have a nice Sunday. Happy Mama Mary's birthday. Okay, and hope everyone has a Mara managed Sunday. All right, so this is Sattvah signing out. Thank you, Lance. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And signing out. Bye.